because I'm going to show you how this whole thing works for you. Okay? What I'm thinking in here is that wall and the arch, you know, that goes into the soffit. You see how it's architecturally interesting there in the corner?
It is.
Is that what I would do is do the darker color on the wall, on this whole wall, on all three sides. Okay, and then into the soffit, so that this becomes structurally part of that, and that's what's holding that up. So it's going to look, as you come into the room, very architectural and kind of old, you know, like an old library. Then what I want to do is paint this entire room the cassava melon, the light, bright, airy color, the warm color that you like.
Right.
I'd like to bring in the same crown molding you have in there into here so that the two rooms connect. But the crown molding in here will be painted the same as the ceiling and the walls so that it's there, but it's
subtle.
more really, it's a subtlety.
Oh, okay.
Now the trim in here will still be the same color. So let me just put these boards over here on the sofa. I want to show you something just so you get a sense of how this can work with your furniture. Now those are kind of the values you're going to see of these colors. You know, you don't see a lot of this. You do see a lot of this. You don't see a lot of this. You see a lot of this. By bringing in a fabric that incorporates that sense of color,
That really
you see, it ties the
makes a lot
sofa
more
into
sense.
the whole thing,
Yeah,
makes it work, and I think it does what you want it to do. Now, there are other colors in here, and you know, we talked about your family room and what we could do in there, and I want to take you in there now and show you how this all ties together so that you have continuity from one room to the other.
Okay.
sure.
Okay, let's
All
go
right,
in
let's
there.
go. Let's head.
Okay, let's talk about what I want to do in here. You know, I told you I had brought a color that I thought would be really outstanding in here, but let's review for just a second what we're doing in the living room, okay, and the library area. So that's your color palette, and this is the color I'm suggesting we bring into here. And if you look at this with the fabric, isn't that beautiful how it brings out the rose
That's nice,
color in
isn't
the
it?
fabric?
Yeah.
And see how the color plays to the other color. So there's a nice connection from room to room. Okay, and it's beautiful with your furniture.
Okay.
Look what happens when I put it on the wall. See how the piece on the wall really jumps out? Isn't that great?
Oh, that
It
is
makes
so
it much more
pretty.
significant, more important than if it's just on a white wall.
Yeah, because I can't get rid of that.
Well, it's a cool piece. Now, look at the fabric that we used in the living room again, and see the rose color is there. So there's a connection from room to room. What I'm suggesting in here, however, is that we use something more like this.
Okay.
It's soft, it's cozy, you know, this is a family room. We really want to make this space family friendly. This is the trim color in here. Again, this is part of your connection. So you're only going to see a little bit of that. See, a little bit like that. And that's your family room.
So then the ceiling again would be this? or-
No, what I'd like to do
Okay.
is paint the ceiling the same color as the walls.
No, I've never seen that.
That, a lot of people say that. But the thing is, if I paint the ceiling the same color as the walls, what will happen is the room will expand. You really won't notice, you know, where the wall ends and the ceiling begins. So it makes the room seem much wider, much more open. And I think that's a nice feeling in a family room. It's cozy, it's warm. You know, it's just a nice way to do it. And I think the room will feel bigger.
I think I think I can see that. I think more too, though, I can see the going in from one room to the other and the theme
The connection.
staying the same.
Right,
Yeah,
that's really
which is really neat.
important.
Yeah,
Which is why you need a plan for the whole space. Do you have any other questions then?
Yes, one.
What's that?
The blue. What's with the blue?
Wait. We'll talk about that. Let's go in the other. Let's go into the kitchen now.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. You asked about the blue. Now I'm going to show you about the blue.
All right.
You know, and your kitchen cabinets, your appliances are white, very white. So I'm not suggesting that you change them. What I'm talking, because it would be very costly and I don't think it's worth it. But contrary to what we talked about in the other rooms where we were doing softer colors, here you've got the crisp clarity of the white. So I want to use a bolder color on the walls here, and that would be the blue. Now, the neat thing about this, I think, is that in the fabric in the other rooms, the blue is in both of those fabrics that we were bringing into the room for contrast. So what happens is you have some continuity from one room to the other by virtue of the blue that's in the fabric, that's in the kitchen. It all connects, it all ties together. The most important thing here today, though, is that we have a plan. You know, you may not want to do all this design work at one time. You may not want to you may not be able to do your whole house at this time, but you're going to start with part of it and you're going to work through it. And the thing that's so important in interior design is to have a plan, is to have continuity from room to room, to have a design element that's consistent throughout the entire house. So that in the end, the whole place feels like one big, wonderful space that was designed just for you.